Hi everybody! The internet is full of top 10 RTS lists. All of them only focus on the gameplay or the story side, but they all miss the point for me. Which games are the most fun to play together? This is why I decided to start my own top 10 list, so you know what to play on your next LAN party or that modern thing called the internet. Starting the list is Homeworld, a very special game for me, not only because it has a very unique gameplay aspect, by letting you experience space combat in its fully 3D glory, but also because it was the introduction for me into the world of online gaming. And 26 years later, I still love to play together with friends. It just gives you a special immersion which you can't get anywhere else. Even though the remastered version from 2015 sacrificed a bit from the unique gameplay by merging Homeworld 1 and 2 into one game engine, it is not only the easiest way to play it, but also offers many amazing mods like Star Trek Continuum or FX Galaxy. Some of those even add additional multiplayer modes, so even though the typical match lasts only about 30 to 60 minutes, you will never get bored. Coming up next is World in Conflict, a real-time tactics game in the Cold War era, which offers a fantastic team-based gameplay. Different to many other strategy games, you specialize in a role, depending if you want to have tanks, air units, infantry, or artillery. Of course, this specialization requires you to work as a team. The game offers an AI, but it isn't really the best in the strategy world. Still, you can have an amazing time with your friends, which you can of course expand by some very unique mods, like Modern Warfare, which brings many new units in the game and a very complex but realistic gameplay. To play the game on modern operating systems, you will also need some community patches, since the official multiplayer support was killed in 2014. Compared to other strategy games, you have here much shorter rounds, not longer than 20 minutes. Another game which I had the pleasure of experiencing in the 56 kilobyte era was Age of Empires 2. Of course, since then a few things changed. The game got not only an HD version, but also a true remastering in Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. But it really doesn't matter which version you play, it is always fun to explore the map either by scouts or sheeps, secure your resources, build up your bases and defenses, and finally go after the enemy in his castle. Either alone or with friends, you can easily lose yourself for many hours in this game, especially since all versions offer many different game modes. Sadly, a very important game mode for me, the co-op mode in which you experience missions together, is only available in the Definitive Edition. But if you don't care about that, it doesn't really matter. And you can expect that the match will take around 60 to 90 minutes. For the more casual rounds, I always love to play Command & Conquer Red Alert 2. The gameplay is much faster and simpler compared to the other RTS games on this list, but still a lot of fun. It's just a perfect filler between more complex games on your LAN parties. Nowhere else you have combat dolphins, giant squids, mirage tanks, zeppelins and super weapons. Also, the community is still quite active. They not only fixed the multiplayer, but as I created this list, I also found out that some modders even made it possible to play the entire game in a co-op mod. So if you're looking for a classic RTS experience, which is a little bit modernized, offers you fast rounds of 20 to 30 minutes, Red Alert 2 is definitely a title for you. Moving away from the casual side of gaming to a game which has a little bit longer matches. Sins of a Solar Empire is a merge between a real-time strategy game and a turn-based strategy game, meaning you have to research many different technologies to unlock every unit and every bonus in game. In the game you have to explore one or multiple star systems filled with planets and asteroids, build up massive star bases and starships, create alliances which gives you certain bonuses, and so much more. It's really a big game in its vanilla state, but of course I always love mods. For example, Star Trek Armada 3, Stargate Invasion, Star Wars Interregnum are some of the mods you should definitely check out. This game can easily fill up your entire LAN party. But the good thing, it doesn't have to. You can always win the game in 3 to 4 hours, depending on how big the map is. Next we have Supreme Commander, another game which has the focus more on a grand scale. The base game offers already 500 units per player, but if you go to the expansion Forged Alliance or the community project Forged Alliance Forever, you can have up to 1500 units on the battlefield per player, which can make the battles very intense, but also a lot of fun. I also don't know of any other game which offers Such an amazing trench war. Basically you have your giant shield generators and you just pray that your forces and artillery can defeat the enemy before your shields run out of power. The community project offers also the chance to experience the entire story and even new missions in a co-op mode. The rounds of Supreme Commander will take you between 40 to 90 minutes, again depending on how big the map is and how many enemies you have. Then we have Star Wars Empire at War and its expansion Forces of Corruption. This is again an interesting RTS title because you can either play it as an ordinary RTS against 7 other players in space or ground battles, or just against one player in a big multiplayer campaign, which is basically a map of the galaxy in a turn-based setting. There you decide basically where to build your units, where to send your fleet, and should your forces encounter the enemy, you switch from the turn-based mode to the RTS mode and have a classic battle. It's a very unique experience. If you have a good friend, you really should try it. By now, you of course know I love mods. Also in Empire at War you have some really great mods like Stargate Pegasus Chronicles, which transforms the entire game into the Stargate universe, or Awakening of the Rebellion, the remake mod, Thrawn's Revenge. They all add an unbelievable amount of units and graphical improvements. Talking about the in-game time, you can expect an RTS round will take around 10 to 30 minutes and the campaign will take you many hours. So again, a good game for a LAN party. Next we have another all-time favorite from our LAN parties, Rise of Nations. It's again a merge between classic turn-based strategy games and RTS games. For me it's basically an upgraded Age of Empires, minus the wall building and those amazing looking trebuchets. But instead you have the chance to play to all the different ages of mankind, from the ancient time, where you have stone slingers, to the information age, where you have tanks and helicopters. Besides the basic resources, you also have unique resources. You have in the game borders, so your armies always need a supply wagon, or they will get attrition damage behind enemy lines. Also, one thing very unique for my friends and me was that the game includes 100 different jet towns. You would think a game with so many features and content will have long rounds, but no. A casual multiplayer round only takes between 60 to 90 minutes. The matches can also be very customized for each playstyle. For example, you don't want to rush your experience? Have 30 minutes of no rush? Or another example, you don't like nukes on your cities? Just deactivate them. All of this offers a lot of replay value, so be warned, you will come back. Often. And at last, we have Company of Heroes. This is my all-time favorite strategy game on a LAN party. What makes it so good for me is the mix between realism and fun gameplay. In this game you just can't kill a heavy tank with rifles. Your infantry will be suppressed and pinned down under heavy fire. You also have to consider in this game from which direction you attack an enemy tank. Or you will see medics on the battlefield who are trying to help your wounded soldiers. All of that creates such an amazing atmosphere during your multiplayer matches, which last around 30 to 60 minutes. Of course, I can't end here without mentioning again the amazing work by the community, like the Eastern Front mod, which adds the Soviet faction and many new units to experience, or Modern Combat, which brings the game into the modern age in a conflict between China and the USA. So gather your friends, grab some snacks and experience some of those amazing games. Please let me know if you will try any of those games or what other favorite multiplayer games you have. But yeah, I would say until then, Captain Sidaris signing off.